everybody out there, but I think the biggest factor I believe personally is humility. And from that comes so many other things, that you value your people more, you listen to them, you care for them, but it all begins with humility.
Guys, I know we have run out of time. Sorry guys. Deepak and answer your questions as well. So, thank you. Thanks. Thanks Vivek and panelists. So कुछ बनने की नहीं, कुछ करने की सोचो. और जिनको मैं बुलाना चाह रहा हूँ, वो काफी सालों से बहुत कुछ कर रहे हैं. So next we have a special keynote by Chaudhary, CEO of Zscaler. Chaudhary is an accomplished entrepreneur, having founded a series of successful companies including Zscaler, Air Defense, Cybertrust, Core Harbor, Air-to-Web, and Secure IT. He has a history of introducing visionary innovations to market that address the demand of the securely enabling emerging technology trends such as Zscaler's global security cloud for distributed and mobile enterprise. His considerable work in the security technology sector has made him a trusted advisor for many enterprise CIOs and CISOs. His previous company, Air Defense, was acquired by Motorola. Cybertrust, the industry's first email security gateway, merged with Secure Computing. His first company in 1996, Secure IT, was the first pure-play internet security service and was acquired by VeriSign in 1998. Jay has been honored with Distinguished Alumnus Award by IIT BHU in 2015. He has also been honored as an E&Y Entrepreneur of the Year, an Information Week's Innovator and Influencer, and SC Magazine Market Entrepreneur. Jay earned his MBA and his MS in Computer Science and Industrial Engineering from University of Cincinnati, and his BTech in Electronics Engineering from IIT BHU, Varanasi in 1980. Please welcome Jay Chaudhary.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. That sounds good. Okay. First of all, I am very honored and humbled that IIT BHU has given me the opportunity to deliver a keynote to all of you. And last year, in December, they surprised me when they honored me with the Distinguished Alumnus Awards. So I'm very, very thankful of that. I'm going to talk about a little bit of some of the lessons I have learned as I have done my journey from IIT BHU to the Silicon Valley. So there are a few lessons I learned that I'll share with you because we all learn from each other. And hopefully you'll find it useful. Everything starts friend. That's the biggest thing a college does. Friendships made in college last forever. That photograph was taken in front of our hostel campus. This is electronics engineering batch. We had a small batch of about 17, 18 people. And my partner in crime and co-founder, Kailash, was with me for all those 5 years. Kailash, can you stand up for a second? And a number of our classmates have done extremely well. They're here. Raj Vatkar driving some very innovative work at VMware. Rajesh working at Cisco. Yogen Upadhyay doing some very good work out there. So I'm going to talk about 3 or 4 topics. A little bit of my background in terms of what I did, how I got to where I got to. And talk about some of the inspirations I got from my alma mater. And a little bit of my perspective on how Indian professionals are doing on the global stage. The changes we've seen starting from 80s all the way to today. And a few things I learned about entrepreneurship that have helped me along the way. So IIT BHU was the starting point for the education. In fact, I often say that I probably saw bigger change when I went from my tiny village, which was in the foothill of the Himalayas, to Banaras. That was a bigger change for me than when I came from BHU to the US. It really was. And BHU served as a really good learning ground. And after that, probably if I weren't at BHU, I wouldn't have probably come to the US. Because lots of regional colleges don't even give us the exposure and understanding of what can be done out there. So University of Cincinnati served many things for me. That's where I came to do my master's. And along the way when I was working, I picked up a few executive management programs from different colleges, essentially expanding my management skill set. I spent the first about 15 years in the corporate world of America, doing software development for a very small startup in Cincinnati was my first venture in the US business world. Then moving on to IBM sales, NCR taught me a fair amount about marketing. At Unisys, I led both sales and marketing for the software products division. And then moved to a smaller company, IQ Software, as the number 2 man in the small public company. So some of the lessons I learned along the way, I diversified myself. I moved away from just being an engineer to being a business person and looking at what's needed to solve some of the problems in the world beyond innovating and beyond doing engineering. And from there, I took a leap into the startup world. You know, as we read about Silicon Valley, I was reading about Silicon Valley all these years, figuring out some of these new startups happening out there. Netscape raised the profile of startups out there, and a bunch of other things happened. And I was dreaming about doing startups. And eventually, it was in late '96 when internet was taking off, security was becoming a big issue. And that's when I was talking to my wife. And she eventually said, you know, you keep on talking about it. Either let's do it or shut up. So that was good inspiration. So we said, this is the time. The longer you wait, the more risk averse you get. So I looked at a few opportunities, and I thought security was a brand new area that no one had really solved it. So I decided to start a company for security services company. They're design, architect, sell, deploy, support firewalls, VPNs, and that type of technologies. I spent about 3 months trying to raise VC funds. Atlanta is not the easiest place to raise funds. They would basically say, what startups have you done before, right? And go and sell something and then come back and talk to us. I didn't tell them, but I told myself, if I sold something, I won't need these guys. Talked to my wife, and we said, we aren't getting any money. The only way to do it is if we put our life savings on the line. She was supportive. So we put everything we saved on the line and say, let's do it. If it works, it's great. If it doesn't, we can always find a job. And the lifestyle was fairly simple. There was no big house mortgages, no big fancy cars. So that helps. Right? And we burned the bridges behind. Actually, my wife and I both quit. She's also in IT and finance. She's an MBA from IIM Calcutta, then did masters at UC. And with lots of focus, great team, lots of hard work, business took off. We had $5 million in sales in year one, and about $1 million in pre-tax profits. And that's when VeriSign came and acquired us a couple of years later. It was wonderful. In fact, to the degree I felt like, wow, was secure IT a fluke? Can I really build the company systematically again? So let's do it again. And now I have plenty of liquidity. And so I'm going to fund my own companies. In fact, I can only put so much money in one company. Let's go and do multiple. So I on my own started 3 more companies where I was the founder and the investor. Core Harbor, Cypher Trust, Air Defense. Good luck, good timing, lots of hard work. They all became pretty successful. And once they all got acquired, like most companies are, 95+% of the companies that survive get acquired, only a small percent gets sold. Then I said the next phase, I have no more interest in doing a small point product startup and selling it. Let's go and build something that changes the industry. And that's where Zscaler was born. This is a cloud security company. I started fairly early on looking for where the market is headed. I have been using Salesforce and NetSuite from year 2000, all my startup, when actually they were less than 5 million in sales. Applications moved to the cloud. Shouldn't security move to the cloud? It made sense. So we started out, and Kailash was the brains behind it on technology front. And today, we've done very well actually. So we are sitting with 15 million paying users from 5,000 companies across. They come to us from 185 countries. We got our data centers in 100, our technology sits in 100 data centers, taking the shortest path. Any internet-bound traffic goes through Zscaler or our customers to make sure nothing bad comes in, nothing leaks out. And we have about 650 employees. The cloud has become the largest security cloud in the world. We handle about 25 billion requests every day. And out of those, about 125 million threats are blocked. That's about, out of every 200 internet requests, about 1 is malicious out there. Doesn't seem high, but it's a big number. And out of the 650 employees, about 225 of our employees are in India. They divvy up between Bangalore as an A-tier city for hardcore development, and Chandigarh as a B-tier city for all the back office operations and the rest of the stuff. And it's a very international play. Most of my companies in the past were typical US companies with 85% sales in the US, 15% international. Here, a little over 50% of our sales are international. We are proud to have some very large customers. It ranges from GE to Nestle to Siemens to Barclays to Morgan Stanley to Fannie Mae to Johnson Controls to P&G. The list goes on and on. And for these companies, there's no internet, there's no cloud without us. So it's a big obligation, and we take it very seriously. And we're doing a good job. So once you get these big customers, getting other smaller customers gets a lot easier. So moving on to the next part. Inspiration from IIT BHU. You know, college has a lot of impressions, lots of inspirations for you, especially the undergrad time. When you are at a stage, you're past your high school, you're maturing, you're getting into college life. So the number one thing BHU did for me was really showing me that you need to compete at the national scale, national stage. You know, all of us went there. We used to be probably first or second in our high school and college, or whatever the high school exam used to be. Now here, where all of us came from all over India, the best of the best, A lot of them convent educated, best schools from Doon School or Delhi public schools and whatnot. The lesson was, you compete at the national scale, it doesn't matter, right? Being a big, kind of a frog in your well, right? Or a small fish in a big pond, or a big fish in a small pond, that's the first lesson I learned, that the world is essentially flat. You must compete on the global scale. That's the first lesson I learned. The second inspiration, if a lot of students after second year will talk about what else can we do, where do we go? And there's a lot of discussion about how America can help you advance your education, some of the best schools, some of the colleges and whatnot. So I got a fair amount of awareness of the US as well as in the high-tech industry and some of the schools. That actually provided me an opportunity to think about coming here for a master's degree. And I couldn't really think how far I come from a tiny village to here working on the latest and greatest cloud and security and mobile type of technologies. But all those lessons started at the BHU campus. And the college gave us a good foundation of engineering. In college you learn a lot, but the real learning happens when you really take a real job. But the foundation of all the technology starts at the college level, and which we did very well. And since we had some of the best students across India, since they came to college to GRE, so there was some good competition, good learning, but pretty good cooperation. I recall those good old days extremely well. I had the opportunity to go back and visit the campus in December along with Vish, when I was given the Distinguished Alumnus Award. It's good, very good, great memories of those good old college days. Sorry. So now moving on, a few words about Indians and how they're done. When I came here in the 80s, Indians are largely engineers, besides doctors in the other area. And it was hard and rare to see Indians in management jobs. It's great to see evolution and the progress Indian professionals have made, moving on from software development, from being engineers, to actually moving to doing engineering management. And then a few of Indian guys, they took a lead in actually taking some senior level, C-level jobs. We started seeing Kanwal Reiki and team actually running companies and actually putting together TIE. So I got involved in TIE early on in 98, 99 time frame. I think organizations like TIE has helped to show what can be done, what could be done. But now we are seeing Indians doing very well as CEOs and founders. You guys see all the stats out there. So many companies are started and funded by Indians. I think there's a big opportunity for us to really shine with strong engineering, mathematics background. The opportunities are wide open out there. So a few words about entrepreneurship. What makes you successful, what doesn't, how can we do startups and how we can't. Everyone wants to do startup, but very few people have a burning desire to do startups. There's a huge difference between wanting and having a burning desire. And burning desire only comes if you have passion and drive for something to make it happen. If you are trying to do it for money, you'll be disappointed because it takes longer to do anything big and successful. And shooting for a quick return doesn't really work. I mean, you see stories here and there. Well, this company happened in 10 months or 12 months or 15 months. Yes, that's probably more of an exception. Most successful things, if you're doing something significant, something big, it'll take time, and if you don't have the passion and drive, you can't do it. And if you have the passion and drive, the work you do becomes your hobby. And so think about that. That's number one. And then the second thing is love of learning. The world of IT is changing fast. Everything is moving at a very rapid pace. To do good startups, you need to understand better whether you're talking about technology, how do you solve some of these new problems in new and different ways? Because innovation plays a big role. Innovating to solve some real problems. Not innovating because I'm 20% better, but we need to be about 5x better, 10x better, because if you're only 20% better, the big companies or the other mediocre guys will come from behind. It's a matter of 5, 10, 12, 15 months where they can catch up. And your differentiation, your advantage will disappear. Taking risk is fundamental to entrepreneurship. You know, I happen to have little attachment for money, so it has actually helped me take risks. Right? Once you make money, rather than saying, let's put it aside, say, let's kind of put to use. And I think if your lifestyle is simple, it actually makes it even easier because you really aren't dependent upon some of these fancy things. At least that's what I've done. So taking risk is fundamental part to entrepreneurship because lots and lots of these things fail. And you need to understand it. Everything can succeed. If they fail, let's move on. Thinking big. Unless we think big, nothing big happens. I mean, I don't need to talk to you about it. We all know about it. But big, anything big starts with that. And customer focus. If you're doing something, if you're doing a new company, you're doing a startup, making sure customers are delighted and happy, it's very, very critical. And that doesn't happen unless it's starting from top down. There's really drive and focus to make sure we're solving the real customer problems and solving it well. So with that, if we have a minute or two, I won't mind taking a few questions. There's a question back there.
I have a question to the industry that you picked up. Obviously, it's a growing industry and there are, a lot of innovation is possible, but it also opens up to a lot of risks, right? Liabilities. So, how did you think for that?
So, every industry, every segment has pros and cons. You need to think through it and you need to manage it. If you are overly worried with the risks, you won't do it, right? Cloud starts with all kind of risks out there, but cloud is flourishing. The security too. Are there risks in security? Yes, but choosing and managing the risk is part of the business plan. If something has no risk, it probably is not anything worth doing.
I have a very specific technical question, which a lot of people have in their mind. Artificial intelligence, machine learning, a lot of hype around it. How realistic are their applications successful, or what are the chances of their success in the area of security? What's your viewpoint? Thank you.
So, question is, machine learning type of technologies, artificial intelligence, is it important? Sometimes we think about starting a business in the new area of technology. But technology versus building a company are two different things. I'll give you the first example of mobile. When mobile took off, iPhones, zillions of phones, and there are hundreds of mobile companies that started to do A, B, C, and everything. But if you really think about it, by and large, mobile is one more device. You got a PC and you got a mobile. Trying to build a business around mobile itself is incomplete. When you use Salesforce.com, you can't build a CRM company around mobile. In the same way, you need to think about machine learning. Why is it becoming a big thing? Because we are collecting data left and right, because of all kinds of intelligent devices, from mobile devices to sensors to IoTs. We are tracking all kinds of stuff. How do you figure out what's going on when there are trillions and trillions of transactions happening? The only way to do it would be smart machines are learning, figuring out what's going on. So machine learning is not meant for a startup. Machine learning is a technology to solve a whole range of problems. So when we see, I share with you, so we get 25 billion transactions through our cloud every day. So there are 25 billion log entries about who is going from where, what's going on. There's lots of machine learning and this data mining that needs to be done to figure out what's good, what's bad, what's malicious, what trend is happening. It's a wonderful area. It will be applied in a whole range of disciplines. And companies will become successful by using machine learning to solve particular problems. There won't be a company say, I am the machine learning company. Right.
Yeah, I have a...
Yes.
All these very big companies who are used to like working on ERP and all, if they are trying to move into cloud, how do you convince them, let's say in a couple of lines or at a high level, what is the security that will help you do that?
What security will help these large ERP companies to move to the cloud? Security is a big thing. There's no very narrow definition of security. Security has many aspects to it. For example, what we do is very one simple kind of security. When you interact with internet, you need to make sure you don't get in trouble. So we are a check post for any traffic that goes from your device to the internet. We are inspecting it like international airport is doing inspection for bad things going in and out. That's one aspect of security. Then these cloud companies, Salesforce, need to figure out its own security to make sure that its applications and data sitting in the cloud doesn't get compromised by someone. So they have a different kind of security. So I think that all different kinds of security is out there. The big companies, the issue of ERP moving to the cloud is less to do with security. It's more to do with taking single tenant applications and how do you make them multi-tenant so they can be cost effectively, they could be supporting multiple customers. These are big works. Typically, the larger the company you deal with, the slower they are in moving and making decisions. So sometimes it's better not to go to the biggest company out there because they can just consume all the cycles. Work from some of the smaller companies and move up from there. But there's no simple thing, there are no silver bullets to do any of these things. It generally ends up being a combination of things you do. All right, thank you very much. I hope you found it worthwhile.
So, a couple of announcements. If you can leave your visiting cards at the reception desk, the team will collect all your numbers, emails, so that they can send correspondence in the future. The second one, our very senior alum, Dr. S.K. Maini of the Rewak electric car in India. So he has written a book on Malviyaji. The sample is outside and you can write your email if you are interested. It's only $25 and it will be shipped to your home, no shipping charges, everything included in that. So you can, we were not able to bring the whole bunch from India, so we'll collect the email and you can, you'll get an email and we can decide on money and other things. But it's a very nice book. It's outside. You can see the book. And the third thing is, as someone just pointed out, we are only $86,000 short to claim all the 100,000 from Naresh Jainji. So please donate. Thank you. And we'll
So guys, we have this t-shirt outside. It's not free. So there's 75 of them outside, and you can pay a very minimal amount. It's posted out there, $20, and it was designed by one of our alumni, Anuma Durga. And so please, in case you are interested, it's outside, and the contributions from this would go again to the alumni association. We are paying. Thank you.
Thank you, and we'll assemble back in 15 minutes. Thank you. Yeah, and there is a separate hall for kids. So if there are kids here, anyone, so they can join. There's art and craft and other things at pizza. You guys also